the outskirts of heaven, where there's dirt roads for miles, and hay in the fields, and fishing in the river, where there's dogwood trees and honeybees and blue skies and green grass forever. So Lord, when I die, I wanna live on the outskirts of heaven.
What is going on in Vincennes? I tell you what, there ain't nothing more beautiful in the country. And that song speaks right to my heart. When I die, I'm gonna live on the outskirts of heaven. And I don't know how many country people we got in here. You know who? For those of you who don't know, let me tell you a little something about the country. I'm talking about the boonies, the boondocks. This is way out past where there's no more houses, but there's people. And this is what it looks like. You got gravel roads, empty beer cans, and naked people. And I gotta tell you something about them empty beer cans. That's how the naked people ended up out there in the first place. Gotta be honest, some of you look familiar out there. I ain't gonna name names. I'm kidding. I spent, oh my gosh, I spent a lot of time out in the country, and my grandma's got this place out by her back roads. I'd take a Chevy S10 back there, and here's something about the country that y'all don't know. It's got no city lights. So my wife and I one time went out looking at shooting stars during the shooting star period. Remember that was? It wasn't very long ago, actually. And I was laying in the S10 pickup, out in the boonies, out in the truck bed, and this is before I was married, but I was just staring at the shooting stars, and I seen headlights, and I normally don't see headlights coming out of the country, that secluded, and I freaked out, and I jumped up out of the pickup truck, had to run out in the cornfield, put some underwear on. And that's how I ended up the corn on the cob. Something else about the country. We got ticks out the country. They had a tick on them. My mother-in-law found a tick on my wife one day out where they was literally sitting there having a conversation. She says, "Oh my God, what is that?" And this tick was huge. It was bigger than nipple. He better would have had nipples himself. There's two ways to kill a tick. One, you can beat it in the head with a rock for about 15 minutes. Or two, you can light it on fire. That's the only way you can kill a tick. My mom decided to light it on fire out on the cabinet, right in the house, right in the kitchen. Lit it on fire, it just popped. It just exploded, went everywhere. So it's got body parts everywhere, and my mom decides to talk to it. She's a wonderful woman, and I love her with all my heart, but she's just crazy sometimes. And she starts petting it. She says, "Are you dead? Are you dead?" I said, "Good Lord, Mom, the blood nipples clear across the room. I think I'm dead." There's something else about the country we got to deal with, which was fun for me. I got my first deer when I turned 21. You like deer hunt? Yeah. I got a 6-point buck, my very first one. I waited so long for it too, and unfortunately it totaled the car. Here's the funny part. My dad won't let this go, but I caught my brain went into panic mode when I hit the deer. And I kept on going. I triggered like a cat or a possum. I just kept on going. Like, oh my God, I just hit a deer. And I called Dad on the way home. He said, "Well, how's the car?" I said, "I brain during trauma just acts differently. And we got on, I called the sheriff's department. And what I swore I saw, I just swear this was true, when I hit it, I saw it explode. Fur, legs going everywhere, head went one way, torso went another way. And I told the sheriff's department, I had to explain to them, I wasn't drunk. I said the damn thing just exploded on impact. I said, it ain't blocking the road or nothing. I said, it looked like the deer swallowed bone, and that's what I just told the dispatcher. And I think she was trying not to laugh over the phone, but she was kind of giggling about the whole story. And I was really upset when I was talking about it to her. And I went back out in the field the next day, down by the road, and the deer was laying in the middle of the field, one piece. It was all intact. The two things could have happened at night. Either A, it put itself back together and ran off the field, or B, I was hallucinating. And I went with A. I don't think I hallucinated about that. I seen it explode. So, my wife and I moved from the country to the city where I got my new job. I work here at Barbest. I actually moved to Washington to be closer to my job there, and then ended up moving after that to get a new job where I got treated better. And I love working at Barbest Food. But the fact that when I came home, I came home late that night. My wife was standing at the door, and she was like, "Honey, how was it? Are you okay? You got home late." And I said, "It was great," because with my old job, I came in a bad mood all the time. It was just rough. And so I come home and I said, "Honey, it was just like our marriage, baby." And she says, "Was the supervisor cute?" And I said, "No, she walked away from me right in the middle of an argument." When I introduced you to my wife, she said right back there, we've been happily married for 2 years now. So, and something else coming up that's special, January 2nd, be our 9th wedding anniversary. I ran that joke by her before I said it, dude. I didn't want to sleep on the couch tonight. I love being married. You gotta ask me. I'm sure you're wondering what the sex life is like after 9 years. I'm gonna tell you anyway. It's about like my comedy. I perform for 10 minutes and she laughs all the way through it. We got our daughter just turned 4. One of the last stories I want to share with you, when she was born, before she was born, we went and did the ultrasound. We didn't know what it was going to be, but we did the ultrasound in Evansville, which is progressed ultrasound and looking at different features. And the doctor walked in. I said, "Doc, you and me, good look." That wasn't even part of my show. Whiskey does that to me, I'm sorry. And I said, "Doc, I think we're having a boy." He says, "What makes you think that?" I said, "Well, look right between his legs. It's obvious. I think he's big." He said, "I'm like his daddy is." And he said, "Son, it's the umbilical cord." I thought we were going to have another well-hung child. We ended up having a daughter. And when I found out we was having a daughter, I called my mom, my mother-in-law, because we don't get along, and she swore up and down we was having a boy. And I called her up, I said, "Mom, I got bad news about your grandson." She goes, "Oh my God, what happened?" I said, "Unfortunately, I found out he's got leprosy." She said, "You got me kidding." I said, "No, his penis fell off." The last story I want to share is not the first time I've been up here. It's like my 4th time doing comedy here. But I've done sermons for my pastor when he was gone. One particular sermon, they strapped the mic on me. After the sermon, it was prayer time. It's supposed to be real quiet. And I seen this gorgeous woman sitting on the side of the pew, and I never seen her before. And sun shining through the stained glass windows, just absolutely stunning, shining on her hair. And I went over to my uncle and I said, "Good Lord, look at that gorgeous woman on the side. If I was her, I'd be all over me in a heartbeat." He went over and looked at me and said, "If I was you, I'd shut your microphone off." That's all I got.
All right, I'm so excited that we got to hear from Aaron tonight. Yeah, and I gotta say, like, this guy gets better every time he's here, so I really do appreciate him continuing to come. Wow, I was about halfway up here, and I realized I'm at the stage of single where when I leave my drink